for the people. Okay, we're talking about it. Talk about it, talk about it. Hi. I'm just gathering my things. Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with Astrology Mojo. I want to help you get your mojo back. And today we are talking about this final lineup of Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter in Capricorn, and how that can play out in your life and what it can represent for you. So if you have your charts handy, please get them so you can see where certain degrees are. Now, we just discovered that we've had a glitch in our program that creates the free charts. So if you're looking for a free chart, we're working on it. We don't know what the issue is, but a lot of people are having trouble plugging in their city or not finding their city. So thanks for being patient in all these retrogrades while we figure out what the issue is, and then we can help get you on your way. But in the meantime, if you know where Capricorn is in your chart, then you can take a look at that while I talk about it. So if you're new to me, you may not know that I say that the planets in astrology don't do anything to you, that we live in a cooperation with the cosmos, so that when the planets make a move, you feel it. And that when you make a move, it's reflected by way of aspects and angles in astrology. So basically, astrology tells you what time it is. And it's always now, right? But I wanted you to see a snapshot of the heavens in current time. So let me just check in real quick. Hi, Shelby. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. If you're watching this in a replay or on YouTube, thank you. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, because I'm expanding the reach. I want people to really understand that you're not a puppet. You have power, that the planets are there to help guide you in a way of understanding the nature of your relationship to life, your relationship. As the planets have definitions, just like you would have a lab report. It's not the paper that's telling you what to do, or the printout, or the combination of vitamins, minerals, or whatever you might be lacking or have an excess of. It's you making the choices, right? So we're looking at how utilizing astrology can help you to understand your vibration. And you are a vibrational being. When all is said and done, whether you're in a body or not, you're a vibrational being. And what's the vibe? So here's what's really fascinating, that Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto are all in the sign of Capricorn, and they won't be there again ever in your lifetime. So, and they're about to leave and move on to different constellations. So I had to write this down because I was so excited, and then my pen ran out of ink, so I had to look for other pens. Okay, so by December 16th, Saturn, which is now in Capricorn, and it has been, Saturn traverses a constellation for about 2.5 years. So Saturn's been in Capricorn. It's natural placement because Capricorn is guided by Saturn. But it's moving on December 16th into Aquarius for the next 2.5 years. So if you are an Aquarius sun, rising, moon, or have Saturn in Aquarius, then that's an indication that you're ready to move to this next level that we're just finishing up in Capricorn. You're ready to go to that next place of authority for you. But right now, Jupiter is still in Capricorn until December 19th, 2020. And with Jupiter in Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn, I digress. Pluto and Saturn have been in Capricorn for a while, but conjuncting, meaning within 8 degrees, within a more intense relationship to one another, since 2019. And yeah, they're not going to meet up for a while. Again, in fact, I wrote it down. Well, Jupiter will conjunct Saturn in December, because both planets are moving into the constellation of Aquarius. So the vibration is going to change, not because it's happening, but because you're happening. And if we look at things chronologically and systematically, when Saturn and Jupiter and Pluto all came together in February of 2020, Saturn and Pluto had already been hanging out for a year. Things were brewing underneath the surface, down below, in the depths, in the shadow. That's what Pluto represents. Not positive, nor is it negative. But it is the core transformation. It is the deconstruction in order for construction to happen. So it's the construct, but it's also the sabotage, the fear, ultimately. So since February of this year, 2020, these 3 planets have been hanging out. And in that mix, Jupiter represents travel and expansion, compassion, overindulgence on the downside, judgments on the downside. Saturn represents wisdom and maturity, responsibility, but on the downside, it's denial and karmic denial. Pluto represents core transformation, TNT for the psyche. And as I said, it's deconstruction before construction can happen, or sometimes they overlap. But ultimately, it's about your fear. It's the shadow. So when we bring these 3 planets together, all of that gets activated. Not because the planets are activating it, but they are representing what you're undergoing. Now, what have we undergone since February? Even if you were hiding in a cave somewhere, you've heard about COVID. But there have been other pandemics that nobody's talking about. But this one, for whatever reason, we're not going to get political. This one got the attention and it's like the dial that turns up the fear, or it turns on the light so you can overcome the fear. Not COVID, but the whole situation since February of 2020, right? Does that make sense? So we're here looking at, what can I do? Who am I now that so-and-so has passed away? I'm so sad. Or I lost my job. Or I never liked that job. I'm so glad I lost my job because I've been wanting to do this. I went to the chiropractor yesterday, and he said to me he has never in his 45-year career been busier. He is crammed. And I said, because why? Because people are having more time for self-care. He said, yes, and more people are afraid. So it's really affecting, the stress is affecting the body. So what was it? Dog adoptions, pet adoptions went up in the past 6 months. People are redefining for themselves. What's this, what's it all about, Alfie? What is it? What does it mean to you? What does your life mean to you? With these planets together, it looks like you're ready to have a new experience that really isn't new. It's one of the reasons you came here in the first place. So you're maturing, you're taking on the responsibility, of self-growth. You're understanding that in order to expand and move beyond your own parameters, fears, restrictions, Saturn represents restriction, your restriction, Pluto, the fear, the downside is the fear, and the shore of your unconsciousness. So if we look at it in a neutral place, you are now at the shore of your unconscious self. I mean, you've always been there, but now more attention is drawn to it. So let's look at what stops you from moving forward. Jupiter is the vibe and the energy in you that says, I want to go there. I'm going to go travel. Even if you're sitting in a chair, you want to travel to new heights. You want to study something. You want to engage a thought process that helps you to think something new, inspired thinking, intentional living. And then Saturn is the architecture, the structure, the bones in the body, the teeth, the skin, the joints, the knees, certain hormones, and how working with your biology, now that you have downtime in the past 9 months, now that you have downtime, you've had more time to fill in the blank, work on those projects around the house, or move, or realize, health comes first. I was knocking my, head against the wall working that job. Now I'm not at that job. And I'm so grateful. So you see, it's all in the mix. And then there are the people who are very, very not healthy and have, and I'm talking physically not healthy because of mental health or mental choices to focus on fear. And what you focus on expands. So, watching the same news report over and over and over and over and over and over and over again puts it in your aura that I'm confined, I'm constricted, I'm limited. That's the downside of Saturn. I have to take responsibility for them because they don't know what they're doing. Oh my gosh, how do I handle more? What else am I supposed to do? I'm going to crack under pressure. If you can take an eraser and wipe away the things that cause you to fear. Okay, I'm not talking about random, remember when you were 10, or if you have a son or a child, it doesn't have to be a son, who would say, what would you rather, be stabbed by 1,000 blades of ice or fall off a 10-story building? Which one, Mom? You remember those questions that you would ask or be asked? Well, yeah, it's not about the horror show anymore. It's more about the expansion of thought that is about intentional living. We're moving from 3D, perpetrator, victim, dimensional reality, to the fourth dimension of reality, which is, I have a conscience. I can't do that. That would bother me. Yeah, I have to pick up that garbage. I still see people, throwing stuff out the window. I used to have such a reaction that I would approach them, follow them. I would follow them in my car. I would hunt them down and then lecture. I don't do that anymore because they're making a choice. Who am I to say that it's right or wrong? It's not a choice I would make. But some people are now waking up to, I should really empty out the liquid before I dump and recycle the container. Yeah, I'll just take the extra 4 minutes that it's going to take. It's like taking responsibility for working as a collective. This planet exists on the collective theory because we all came here together. Now, some people operate on the solo planet theory. This is all about me. This is my planet, and this is what I'm going to do. And you're in my way. Or, hey, don't you want to come with me and be in my world? So everybody's got their own thing going on. And with the lineup of Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto in Capricorn, Capricorn is that stoic, ambitious energy that really wants to, it's very pious, it's karmic, it feels guilty, about, I didn't do the thing. Or it's just, it is so ambitious on the downside that it will work till it drops. And then it will use chemicals, nicotine, drugs, alcohol, extreme behaviors, to release some of the pressure. So what I want you to do is look at where the pressure is in your world. And I don't mean just recently. Recently, the past 9 months has put a spotlight on the pressure that's already been there. And because if you have a belief that's just kind of hanging out, and it's not a very supportive belief, it's just waiting for the right instance or circumstance to present itself to you, suddenly you're thrown. People say, I was thrown into fear, or I suddenly, I freaked out. Well, why? Where did that come from? That's the Pluto part, the subconscious, unconscious, non-conscious part of you that says, it was always there. I just didn't want to look at it. I was too busy doing something else. I'm going to check in. Hi, Alyssa, Ricarda, Rhonda. Hi, Talitha, Amy, Christy, Shelby. They're in my 3rd and 4th houses, says Shelby. All Capricorn, when they go into Aquarius, will be in 4th and 5th houses. So you're going to... thank you for that prompt. When a planet moves in or out of retrograde motion, and remember, retrograde is an illusion. The planet's not really moving backwards. From the perspective of the Earth, however, on the ecliptic around the sun, it's further away or it's closer. So it looks like it's moving backwards. Or when a planet goes in and out of retrograde, or it changes and moves into a different constellation, pay attention to these dates, because within like a week, because I find being a modern mystic, an energetic vibrational being who is always looking to expand. I'm always looking to expand my knowledge, my ability to understand something, my vibration, my compassion, my experiences, always looking to say, oh, wow, I've never done that before, or that's new to me, or it's somewhere in the back. It feels kind of familiar, but I don't know if it's true. I'm going to explore it. I'm going to see if it's true for me. So remember, Jupiter is always searching for the truth, always. Saturn is wanting to create the foundation, the building of your experience, so that you have a sort of a routine, something that you can count on, the structure, something that you can say is familiar, so that you can slowly walk up the steps of your conscious awareness. Pluto is always there, that energy that represents your unconscious, non-conscious self. So that's what another reader once said to me, what you don't know that you don't know. It comes out of the blue. But if you might say, oh, I'm 72 years old and I can't really remember 6 weeks ago what I had for lunch, but I remember when I was 3 and I fell off the stairs. I remember. So we anchor to trauma. We anchor to something intense, and it can be a beautiful thing. I remember giving birth and, or when my sister got married, or, so we remember something intense. The Pluto part of you holds on to that intensity. And so it becomes then a pattern or a thread of remembrance. So, but now everything got put into a snow globe and shaken up, and you're upside down. People are just upside down. I don't know wow. It's like, well, we've got new rules. We have new rules, and I don't know if I believe them. I don't know. I have to do some research, or based on my lack of education, I'm just going to go with a gut feeling, whether it's right or wrong. And then that's when the judgment comes in. When we're not educating, Jupiter is all about education. And Saturn likes to put that education in application. It's intentional living. It's intentional. So now we've been given an opportunity Some people call it a challenge. I don't care for the word challenge. I used to say, oh, no, not anymore. I don't care for the word challenge because challenge, some people respond to it, but I don't. Challenge in me puts up a defense. Not so much a very negative one, but just a cautionary. Well, I have a lot of Capricorn in me. And so when I hear, but we're going to challenge you to, I'd rather have an opportunity. The opportunity will show me my fear. The example of someone saying something to me or me experiencing something and my initial response or my initial reaction shows me the door to my conscious awareness and the door to my fears. So I'd like you to be really aware of, during this trifecta with this powerhouse planetary trio of Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto. And that is through December 16th. That's when Saturn will move into Aquarius, December 19th. Jupiter moves into Aquarius, and then March 23rd, 2023, Pluto leaves Capricorn, bye-bye, and goes into Aquarius. And it will be there forever, it will feel like, to Aquarius, sun, rising, and moon. But once you get down the rhythm of, oh, wow, it's about me being responsible, it's about me waking to my fears and overcoming them by finding a new way of thinking and then transmuting the energy. You have the power to do this, to heal illness. You have this power. Do you not know? I'm here to tell you. You have the power to heal your illness, what is it in Avatar? I love it when the shaman mother says, stay and we will see if we can cure your insanity. It's like, yeah. Yeah. The thing that causes the fear can make you crazy, right? I say hello. Check in again. Hello. So Christine says, I'm not bothered in the least. Going with the flow. What comes next? That's right. Let's go with the flow. And when you feel like you're thrown by something, let me just backtrack to what Shelby said, and which prompted me. We are in the week of an energy transition, and that is when there's an eclipse, a full moon, a new moon, when a planet enters a new constellation or a planet goes in or out of retrograde. All right, those are major moments of developing your intuition, because you want to take note the week of, we would put December 16th in the middle. And so it's 3 days prior and 3 days after December 16th, that window. Jupiter is going to move into Jupiter is going to move into Aquarius. What appears in your life? And it is not going to just show up like, ta-da, isn't it magical? It's going to come because on some level, you made it. You created it. A door will suddenly appear and you can, I'll take door number 3. So whatever comes up, I want you to pay attention. So if you know where, and I'm going to get back to 17 degrees. I just realized I was looking at my charts. Jupiter is at 17 degrees of Capricorn. All right, I'll come back to that. But if you know where Aquarius is in your natal chart, we're working on getting our program fixed so that you can generate a free chart. But in the meantime, knowing where Aquarius is in your chart by degree can help. It can be between 2 houses, depending on the degree. So, but Jupiter will be entering it at 0 degrees. So from 0 to 10 degrees is the first decadent. The first 10 degrees of any sign is, oh, wow. So this is what they're talking about. It's new. And then there's the second decadent, the 20 to 30 degrees. So we go into different phases. But what I want you to look at really is the feeling that arises. And maybe it's something's, what? I don't know. You could feel off center. You could feel enthusiastic. That means deity on the inside. You could feel driven, suddenly focused. Again, it's the relationship that you are having to the universe as supportive energies are pouring in, as depicted by the angles or the positions of the planets in astrology. Okay? Supportive energies pouring in from different parts of the earth, from celestial systems, from galactic councils, from angelic realms, from your higher consciousness, which is part of those realms. Okay, so you are not disconnected. You're an extension of the light. You exist here, now, everywhere. Not just on Earth, everywhere. All right, but your focus in your body is here. It's, my shoulder. Or, wow, I'm hungry. Or, hey, did you see that funny thing on YouTube? My God, that was so great. So wherever your focus is, that's where the energy builds up. That's what shows you what you love. That's what shows you what you don't like. That's what shows you who you are. And ultimately, where your power is, how you want to utilize it, and where you're going with it, and how you're going to set the structure for contribution. Ultimately, every single person on this earth is here to serve. Not at the sake of themselves. That would be denial. And then we go back to the beginning. Does this make sense? You understand, yeah? Hello? Give me a thumbs up, yay, ha ha ha, go team go. Let's see, what else was I going to talk about? Oh, I circled it so I wouldn't forget. Okay, now, I want to show you something. I learned how to do something technological. Okay, now let's see if this works. I made a video so you can see now in the heavens moving. Okay? Watch this. What's this? 29 degrees of Virgo on September 22nd. We're about to enter Libra on September 22nd. This is the planets on the ecliptic around the sun. This is what's happening. And these are the angles and aspects in the center where the Earth is. You're in the middle. And the angles and aspects of everything happening. Look at the trio right there. Okay. Jupiter is coming out of retrograde energy, right? And then on the 28th, 29th of September, 2020, Saturn will then be out of retrograde. So that need to really organize ambition, that structure, that trio that I'm circling with the Earth is right now the biggest thing ever. And it has been for about a year. And more intensely since February of 2020. And that is also bringing up a new way of seeing things, a new way of dealing with things, a new way of understanding, a new way of setting a systematic structure that helps us work through the problem. What's the problem? We have to work through it. And right now, Jupiter is at 17 degrees of Capricorn. Now, if you are Capricorn, Libra, Aries, Cancer, Sun, rising, or moon, or you have Jupiter in Capricorn, let's look at the degree. If you know you have anywhere within 14 to 20 degrees of Capricorn in your chart, that's where the spotlight is. That's the healing that can ensue. That's the awareness that can grow. That's the ahas that can happen. And wow, it's been a while. I used to practice laying on of hands when I worked with people. And my palms are, I have what's called the fire orange healing energy of not to heal people, but to, when I speak a truth, my palms start to burn. And so they haven't burned for a while. Not that I haven't been speaking the truth. It's just, when it's like exactly on point and something is coming through me, my palms start to burn. And they are burning right now. Ever see Shaolin monks? They can literally, I haven't been able to do this yet because I haven't focused on it, but they can literally light paper on fire with their hands. Yeah, it's pretty profound. So I know I've triggered something in a lot of people who are watching this, whether you're watching this live or in a replay on Facebook or on YouTube. Please remember to share, to comment, to like, subscribe, click the bell, and let others know that the whole point of this conversation is that you have power. You have power. And when I look at things by degree, I mean, everyone's going to experience this on some level. You just are. They are. We are. But when I look at it by degree and I'll see, okay, wow, within 14 to 20 degrees, that's the most intense for people who have that in their natal chart. That's like, as I talked about before, when I was a kid and we had a Christmas color wheel because we had an aluminum tree, and the wheel would turn and I would lie on the couch. I would turn all the lights off. The Christmas lights would be on in the window, and we lived in a little railroad apartment. So the living room, and that was open to my parents' bedroom, was open to the kitchen, was open to, well, we had a door in our bedroom, my sister and I, but one long thing. So there wasn't a lot of space, but I would lie on the couch and I'd put the color wheel on and I would look at the tree and I would see little sparks of light, rainbow colors, and I was in heaven. I really was. And that's what it feels like now, that these degrees between 14 and 20 degrees of Capricorn, with Jupiter now at 17 degrees of Capricorn, is showing you that you have, even if you don't have any Capricorn planets, 17 degrees Capricorn is in your chart because it's on a transit. It's what's transiting around your natal chart, which is stationary. And so it highlights, just like the color wheel, it's going to turn and suddenly highlight something that, wow, or uh-oh, yikes, I have a cavity? Darn. Well, I got to take responsibility, Saturn. I really haven't been flossing or brushing, and I've been eating more candy and carbs, and that's been, sitting on my teeth. So, okay, I just got to go take care of that. That's Pluto. Just get it done. Overcome the fear, get it done. Or you're going through your day and the phone rings and you haven't heard from this person in a long time, and suddenly there's mixed emotions. And then you realize there are things that were unsaid. So here's a conscious moment where you say to yourself, instead of me throwing, hurling, accusing, blaming, judging, let me take responsibility and make a decision. Do I need this person in my life? What was the whole thing? If you can distill it down, Pluto, if you can distill it down to one word that represents the thing that's happening, deal with that one word. Is it a wound? Is it anger? Is it joy? Is it productivity? Is it opportunity? Is it potential? Is it rage? Is it illness? Just distill it down to one word to make it simple for yourself, right? Make sense? Light bulb moment? Yay. Well, on that note, I'll just have a sip. And then in October, we go into a Mercury in retrograde. Wow, so many retrograde planets. Isn't it fun? My husband just walked by my office and went, thank you, darling. That's what I get for living with a former stand-up. But little did he know that I was a closet stand-up. All right, I'm going to pull a card for the group. You know, we bought the URL, and at some point when we fix all the tech stuff that's happening, we're going to, I'm going to have a live event called Go From Crappy to Happy. Go from crappy to happy.com, baby. We have the URL, and it will be a live event. I'm still figuring out if it's going to be here on Facebook. I think it would be the easiest, and I'll send out invites. It will be a paid event, and I will be focused on helping you with one issue. And I'm going to limit enrollment. We're going to decide what that is so that I can take the time to help exactly the people who have enrolled. All right, let's pull a card today from the Universal Law of Conscious Creation. Did this help? Does this make sense? I want to leave you also with the fact that with all of this happening, I know it can be a lot of information if you're not attuned to astrology, but let's just take astrology out of the picture and let's make it about you, finding where your power is. Are you having a power struggle with yourself or the outside world? Are you feeling disempowered by a situation, by a person, by a lifestyle choice? That's what we're looking at. Are you looking to expand your reach, your power, so that you can inspire others? Okay? That's what it comes down to. And when Jupiter goes into, let me see, where are we now? Let me just look on my charts. Oklahoma, where the winds come sweeping down the plain. Oh, there you are. I have so much open on my desktop. Okay, so Jupiter is direct at 17 degrees. Then on September 28th, 29th, depending on where you live in the world, Saturn will then be direct. And then let's find when Pluto goes direct is October 4th, 2020. So just in time for Mercury to go retrograde. So by October 4th, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto will all be moving direct in energy in Capricorn for their final together again live. And you'll never see them again in this lifetime. All in Capricorn. That's it. That's their final hurrah. And during that time, I want you to really notice the week of September 28th, the 28th at the middle, so maybe the 24th to the October 1st. Saturn's going direct. What do you notice about your motivation, about how to organize something in your house, in your mind, in your body, your business, how to structure your life, how to take responsibility, how to not be overly responsible for other people when it's not your job, how to heal that karma. Okay, does that make sense? So pay attention to that week. And then the week of October 4th, from the 1st through the 8th, when Pluto goes direct, where are you feeling more powerful, more courageous? More, you know what? I got this. I actually was sick last January, and I am convinced that it was the COVID virus. It was a different stage of it, but I was. And so I know that having that kind of immunity, it says to, and I don't fear it. I don't fear it because there are so many, your body needs germs to build immunity. But if I were someone who knew that I was insulin resistant, whether I had diabetes or not, insulin resistant, whether I had any form of lung issue or illness, COPD, or I lacked in vitamin D3, K2, and or vitamin C, if I knew that about myself, I would take it upon myself to empower myself to start reversing, to start healing. Do you understand? That's taking back your power. And then researching, well, what about me, my biology? It's not just, use this pen. It's going to be the best pen you've ever used. Well, maybe it won't. Maybe your fingers are too big. Maybe your fingers are too small. Maybe it's not for you. You have to do the research. That's the empowerment part. That's coming out of the sheeple, 3D, victim perpetrator phase. Do you understand? So the more you can boost your immunity, the more you think about, I am healthy, I am vibrant, I am doing what I can to keep it that way, then you put your vibration in a state of expansion. So that if something were to waft by, you have a better chance, statistically, of fielding that energy. Does that make sense? All right, I'm going to pull this card and then we're going to come back on Monday. And we are going to... Talitha, I'm feeling disempowered by my sister who won't shut up while I'm listening to you. Okay, take back your power and focus only on my words, only on my words, only on my words, only on my words. Ha, ha, ha. And then instead of trying to stop listening to your sister, relax your body. You know, that's one of the easiest things you can do when you're feeling defensive, angry, stressed. Watch your posture. Just relax your body. Most people go into a hyper state of readiness to pounce back with words, energy, or to stop the thing from coming. It's flow. Like pretend you're a screen in a window and it's going right through you. It doesn't stay, it doesn't stick, it doesn't last. I am the wind, you can't see me. I forget what movie that was from. Okay, let's focus on now one thing you can focus on from the cards, from the universe. Thank you. Starseed energies, angelic realms, higher selves, giving us a little bit of go team go. Oh, I see a few that want to come out. I see a little silhouette of a man. Ooh, ooh, I love this. Okay, so the first card that came out is concentration. That's got a green image. That's why it's not showing up, but because of my green screen. Concentration. Focus. Concentrate on the moment. You shift from happy to sad. From crappy to happy. What just happened in that moment? What changed? Is it biological? Is it chemical? Are you tired? You just need some rest? You need to turn off the radio, cut out the sound, ask your sister to please tone it down. Concentrate on the moment that changes. That's it. Even when the planets are doing the thing, because it represents you making those transitions. And the next thing is polarity. This is really fascinating because, okay, you see the number is 34, that equals a 7. But the 3 and the 4 together, 3 is communication, inner, outer. Inner, what you're thinking, outer, what you're communicating, what you're saying, what you're telling, what you're not saying. And 4 is work, but the higher vibe of 4 is expansion through, I want to say it's like I see a shape suddenly. It's like a transformer, but not into a robot. It's like a box that changes and suddenly it's a different shape altogether. Like when a cell changes and it does this thing and suddenly it's something else. So when I see that, that's the 22 vibe. That's the creative problem-solving vibe. It's not just the worker bee. It's the, wait, there's a solution here. And it can be energetic. Remember, you're a vibrant being. So polarity, whenever you say one thing and do another, whenever you contradict yourself, you are pulling up Pluto big time. And remember, Pluto's not doing it to you. It is my definition of saying your unconscious self is trying to sabotage you because it's afraid. So what's it afraid of? Well, if you concentrate on the moment and understand when you go from sad to happy, from courageous to frightened, you know, the extreme moments, when you see that space, you're going to become so aware of who's talking. Oh, my little 2-year-old's talking, you know, or oh, I understand. You're a little sad. You're a little angry. You're a little interrupted. You're a little frustrated. You're a little what? Or a lot what? Then once you have that, you can bring the halves together. Deconstruction before reconstruction. Okay? Makes sense? Another light bulb. La. Pluto is not a thing to fear. It's a well, some people say it's a planet. Some people say it's a dwarf star. But it's an energy in this universe. And there's so many more we haven't talked about. We're just talking about the basic in our solar system. There are so many others. But the central sun, which is a blue light of energy, our sun and our galaxy is a vibrant energy. It helps things grow. It sheds light. It gives us warmth. It gives us energy. Literally, we can harness it and, run things. So I want you to look at where that light is in you, because it's being activated now. Okay? All right, so we're going to talk more on Monday, the 21st of September. We'll be talking about Saturn going direct. Yeah. And that's it. Off I go. Thank you for being here. Please comment, like, share, whether you're watching this in a replay or live, and pass it on. And I will see you very soon. Have a beautiful rest of the week and be sparkly. As always, I wish you peace. Thank you.